Today, I'm so excited to bring this podcast to you. I am talking today with Roop Rai, and she hosts the Canadian South Asian Network on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. So she does very similar things that I do with my podcast. And today is a non-edited version, meaning I didn't edit anything. We joked, we made mistakes, we said things we weren't really sure what was happening, but I left it. And the reason why is I want to show you how the actual recording does work out there. And a lot of times we do edit our work. We edit little bits and pieces out so it looks perfect. But today I didn't want to do that. I wanted to leave it the way it is. I brought in Roop because I wanted her to show you, I wanted her to tell you how is it that she started to do what she did. I wanted her to talk a lot about herself, but you'll see so much about her. We talk about mothers as well. So for Mother's Day, what is it that's going on right now? COVID. Why? What's happening with us? We're not able to celebrate with our family and friends. We have to celebrate with just our home family, which is great, but there's so much emotional in there. There's so much emotion in there. So this is why I brought in Roop, for all aspects of everything, how she got into what she did, about Mother's Day, about COVID. We're just here talking. I hope you do enjoy this conversation, and I cannot wait to introduce you to Roop. Here she is. I am thrilled to introduce you to Roop Rai. I wanted to bring her on today because she reminds me of me. Her story is so similar, and being a beautiful mother, she also hosts a show on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram called the Canadian South Asian Network, where she interviews people who inspire others or have value to stories from media to get a more perspective idea of what's really going on in our society. I wanted to talk to Roop about just being who she is and being a mom, and showcase that moms are special and beautiful just the way they are. Despite on everything she does, I wonder how she got inspired to do what she does today. So here is Roop Rai. Welcome, Roop, and happy Mother's Day.
A very happy Mother's Day to you, and a very happy Mother's Day to all your listeners as well. Thank you so much for having me here, Nishma.
You're so welcome. I had to bring you on here today because you honestly remind me of me. So before we start, I would love for you to introduce yourself. Where are you from? How many kids do you have? And what do you do?
Yeah, like I said earlier, these questions, they send me into an existential crisis because normally I am the one interviewing, and today I am in the hot seat. So thank you for making that happen, because now if I know what it feels like to be on this side of the equation as well. Who am I? What am I? What is my purpose on this earth? Well, my name is Roop Rai, and I live in Calgary. I am a mom to a 9-year-old beautiful girl. I am married, and I have a husband who is like a second child. So I basically am raising 2 children. And I also have a Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram presence, like you said, in the form of a channel, which is the Canadian South Asian Network, which is also known as TCSAN. And as you can see in the name here, TCSAN2. At TCSAN2, that's where you can find us. I think I answered all your questions there. Did I? What? That's part of the show. We got to keep it casual. It's cash.
You are so funny.
This is the show that I have with Buffett. This is like the cash. Do you want me to do it again? I did such a good job.
It's fine. Okay.
I think you should include this as well. This blooper portion of the show.
This is what happens when we are just trying to control everything that we are looking at. I'm listening to everything she's saying, but I didn't even feel like that she even finished the conversation. I thought there was more. So I'm going to leave this way it is, because I think it's so cute when we're sitting there. This is how we record a show. This is how it happens. And I'm excited because honestly with Roop, you just look at her to just tell you something and you'll just start laughing. Like, seriously, Roop, thank you for letting me know that you finished your sentence.
I can't obviously let go of control because I'm trying to still control the conversation. I should be the one interviewing. No, I haven't lost my sense of wanting to be in control. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'll be quiet
you're
now.
right. You need to just relax, take it easy. We got this. We got this. How did you start? I am so curious of basically one thing though, because we are here together, and why I wanted you to be here is I wanted to know personally how you started the Canadian South Asian Network. How did you decide what your first show is going to be? How did you decide to start this? What was something? What intrigued you to start the show?
So, in the Canadian South Asian Network, our goal is to talk to individuals and who are from the South Asian background, South Asian Canadian background, and also talk about topics and issues that relate to South Asian Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
That was the reason why it was started. I was whining to my husband in the lockdown when the lockdown started that the mainstream media does not represent me. The things that I want to talk about, I don't hear of those things enough in the mainstream media.
Right.
Especially as a woman of color, I don't hear my voice there, my voice represented in the mainstream media. And I also don't hear my voice represented in ethnic media. The ethnic media, yes, it speaks to South Asian Canadians, but there is this group of South Asian Canadians that may not relate to it as it is right now. So I was whining to him about it, and he said, "Why don't you start something yourself?" And that's how TCSAN came about. I am not podcasting yet, but that's where I need to go. I have to learn from you, follow your footprints, get there. But we are on Facebook because that's a platform I was comfortable in. And I
Mhm.
knew about Facebook and I knew a little bit about YouTube. So, YouTube, we're not fully there either. Facebook is our mainstay for now. And everything else, we're just kind of putting content on the other platforms, but we're not really focused there. So, yeah, we've only been live for the last 3 or 4 months, so we're as new as you are.
That's amazing because yeah, no, when did I start? I started in September of last year, I think. So I'm going to be on my 1 year anniversary. Was it last year? I don't remember. No, 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 no. It's this year
Has it
sometime.
been?
No, no, it's not
I
been that
don't think
long.
so.
No,
I don't think so. Maybe
no,
you were
no.
thinking
I think
about this show in September because I don't think you had that many episodes.
no, you're right. I'm just thinking about something completely different. No, I did start this year sometime. I think it was in February or March, I think I started. So yes, I've only had this is going to be my 19th episode. I'm so excited to launch it for 19th. I know it's beautiful. I'm so excited.
That's
But
amazing.
having you here reminds me of me because when you do this on Facebook, which is creating so many audiences. Okay, tell me, how many audiences do you have?
Um, I don't. Well, in terms of followership, we grew from 0 to 1,500, and
Mhm.
our reach is. You know what? I wish I had the numbers. I don't have the numbers on me right now, but the reach is in thousands right now
Thousands, right?
as we
Yeah.
speak. So each video is being viewed around 1,500, 1,000 to 1,500 times,
Yeah.
or a bit more.
I
Some of
cannot
them can
wait
reach up to 3 times.
I cannot wait to have that information on my description to be like, hey, you need to go and check her out because she's amazing. What I love about your show is everyone that you interview have something so much to talk about. It has anything to do talk about what they do, their business, to what's happening today in society. One of the biggest topics right now that you're talking about is COVID.
Yeah.
And it's a huge topic, as you know, especially being in where we are today. Lockdowns in Toronto and Ontario, lockdowns in other places in the city and in other countries. We're almost at a lockdown here in Vancouver. Not really though, but very minimum. Alberta, where you're from, is really bad at this point right now. How do you feel about everything going on at this point, especially during Mother's Day?
Well, there is, of course, a sense of gloom and doom right now, especially with how the situation is in India. And I have family and friends in India, and my friends here in Calgary, they have friends and family in India. And it is a known fact that no matter where, whenever there is a lot of deaths in the world,
Yeah.
it brings stress to humanity everywhere. And I think all of us are feeling that heaviness right now, whether we have family in India or not, just knowing that there are so many people dying and there are so many people who are in need of oxygen, of beds, and they're unable to get that. So yeah, obviously everyone is feeling very not very happy and not very excited to celebrate Mother's Day either. But at the same time, the way I perceive it is that we have to try to put that negative thoughts, the negative emotions that arise, we have to put them at bay. We have to focus on what's positive. We have to focus on what we do have, and we have to be. And I mentioned earlier that I've been reading up on happiness. I've been reading on the science of happiness lately, and it has been so interesting and so intriguing to me. And there is this philosopher, his name is Epictetus, and he was a philosopher 2,000 years ago. Amazing how philosophy hasn't changed, or the way humanity reacts to situations hasn't changed in all these years. In 2,000 years, whatever applied then applied today as well. And he talked about not preventing the negative emotions, but harnessing those emotions and making them work for you.
Yes.
And he also talked about how when we have something material, let's say a bag or sunglasses, and if we lose it, we feel so upset about it. If someone takes it away from us, we feel so upset about it. But at the same time, when these negative emotions or someone else comes and damages our mind, our mental peace, our happiness, we let it happen.
Yeah.
We can't let that happen. So we have to build that the concept of stoicism, where you build this apathy. Well, not that you don't care, but this anti-negative emotions, the concept of anti-negative emotions. So I'm trying to practice that. So I pick and choose things from all these different philosophers that I'm reading. And I'll tell you a little bit about other philosophers too when we talk. But that's one thing I picked from him, is this whole idea of embrace the positivity, embrace the positive emotions, look around you. And anytime a negative emotion creeps on you, within that first 3 to 5 seconds or 10 seconds, squash it. Just accept that, life throws things your way to make you a better person, to make you stronger. So even a metal that goes through fire is harder. So
That's
anything
true.
anything that becomes stronger has gone through a test, has gone through something of real intense nature. So that's the way I see it, is that we're going through this adversity. We're going through a very intense situation right now. Hopefully we'll get out of it stronger.
I really hope so too, because it has gotten to a lot of point where a lot of people are, you're having a hard time. Some of them have just given up and said, well, whatever, just living their life just the way they are. My biggest impact for me though is traveling. We travel at least 2 to 3 times a year, and we haven't been able to do that. So it's been very difficult. I am turning 40 this year, and my dream last 2 years was to go to Bali. And I don't think that's going to happen.
It's on your vision board. I heard that.
It is on my vision board. It's Hawaii is on my vision board too.
I heard that on your podcast. I heard that on your podcast. So that's proof that I've been listening. I've been doing my homework. I might not have listened to all 19 of them, but I have listened to a few of them, especially the recent ones that you've been talking to these incredible, amazing women. I listen to it when I'm cooking. I listen to it when I'm doing my dishes. So it's my get away from the reality of the mundane. So thank you so much for making it happen.
Love it. Now you're going to have to listen to this one when we're done finished talking, right?
No. No, this is not happening. I hate talking about myself. And that's why I'm deflecting it. I'm talking about the philosophers. I'm talking about the science of happiness. We're not talking about Roop. We'll talk about something else. My friend.
I'm bringing it right back to you, Roop, because we need to talk about you. It's you. This is the reason. Roop is so comfortable in asking the questions that when I'm asking her the questions, it's a lot more difficult for her to actually answer them. Roop, let's talk about you right now as we speak. though, we're talking about COVID and we understand how COVID has really interfered with our lives and the things that are happening. And we're looking at more of the positive impact in life today about us, there's one thing you said is what we go through is what brings who we bring out to be today. And I look at how you've become you're just such a beautiful mother yourself. You're a beautiful, phenomenal wife as well. There's one thing I want to highlight today is your date night with your husband. Your date night with your husband are on this beautiful network that I listen to every time you're on live. I would listen to Roop on live some days where she's actually having a fabulous conversation. I didn't even know it was her husband that she's talking to the entire time. And the last time we talked about it, you said it was your date night. So explain that to me.
My date night with my husband, it's on every Thursday on Facebook, on TCSAN2. So if you need to check it out, please go subscribe to TCSAN2 and go listen to me and my husband chat our date night in public. Well, in lockdown and COVID, my daughter's at home, or our daughter is at home. So it's the three of us at home. We don't really leave the house much at all because he's working from home. I'm working from home. And she's schooling from home, and we're basically in each other's path all day long. And we're tired of each other. We're bored of each other, but we're still there. We're hanging in there. I'm being realistic. I'm being honest. And I talked to my uncle today this morning, and I told him that I'm tired of my kid. And he said, I can't believe you're saying that about your own child. I'm like, well, I've been living with her for over a year now, 24/7. She hasn't been out of my sight. Well, maybe briefly now and then, but it's just been the three of us, and we've never really get time, just me and him. So when TCSAN started, my intention with TCSAN was always to have in-depth conversations with my guests who, with their wisdom, can impart practical advice, which can help build a deeper understanding of the world that we live in. So that was my idea, especially in the context of South Asian Canadians. And how did I choose my guests? I looked for people who are fascinating to me as individuals, or who have interesting stories to tell, people who are leaders in the community, who are change makers, who are researchers, who can add value to me and my audience with the goal of making sense of how the world around us works, the politics, the science. So my husband is a scientist, and he has a sense of humor. If you watch the show, you'd pick up on that. And I find him really funny, and that's why I married him in the first place. So he tells me that I am that guest, the guest that you just outlined, because I told him these are the kind of people, these are the kind of guests I'm looking for. And he's like, I am that guest. And I said, no, you're not going to be a guest on my show, because that's nepotism. Right. And nepotism is not allowed. I'm not going to bring my husband, my daughter, my father, my mother, which I did actually. I did interview my dad as well. But he was quite insistent on it, and I did not give in. And he got upset, and he was not upset, but he was like, "Oh, you don't value me." Ghar ki murgi dal barabar, which means, for those of you who understand Hindi, which means is that if you cook chicken at home, its value is just as much as lentils. So it's not really valued highly as outside. If you go to a restaurant, if you got chicken curry, that would be $14, and dal would be only $5. So chicken has a higher value, but at home, chicken is valued the same as dal is. So he said, "You don't value me because I'm your husband." And that was it. I was like, that's it. I'm going to call the show Ghar Ki Murgi Dal Barabar, and you're going to come on the show, and we're not going to take ourselves seriously. We're going to talk random nonsense, whatever comes to our mind, and we'll see how it goes. And it's been great ever since. We've I don't even know how many shows we've done so far. We've pretty much been regular since December. That's when we started. And he was my first show. I think you asked me that question earlier. What was your first show? It was Ghar Ki Murgi Dal Barabar. I brought my husband. He's my for everything that I've done with TCSAN. Like, that you have to test your mic, you have to test your the software that you're using to record. You have to test how we do live shows, how the live programming works, etc., etc. He has been my guinea pig for that, for everything, because he won't be upset.
This is funny because I want our audience to know that we started this actually recording on Zoom. This is where I record my calls. Okay. The problem is Roop here. Internet is like completely wonk. Like it's doesn't work at her house. Okay.
It's not my house. It's not my house. It's your internet. Because I record not every single day, but most of the days, 6 days a week. Yeah, it works just fine, man. It's your internet.
Then we started to do the StreamYard, and wow, what a fabulous idea. And here we are recording on StreamYard. So I really actually love it. I'm going to have to look into it. So this is what happens when you do a lot of these kind of talks with podcasting, anything to do with Facebook, Instagram. If anyone is interested in something like this is the things that you need to learn, right? What mic is good for you, what systems are good for you. This is why I also have Roop here too, because she does very similar work. And I love the fact that she interviews so many people, and then she gets to see different ways of doing things, like recording in a different kind of network, or, using a certain kind of mic, or, being in charge all the time, because she's the one that's going to tell me, I'm done talking now, Nishma. You ready to ask me the next question?
Don't worry, I ramble all the time.
So
it's two people who love to talking to each other. What do you expect?
Right, I love it. And being that it's Mother's Day, the biggest thing about it is that we're both mothers. And today, knowing that it is Mother's Day, we're going through COVID, we're going through all these problems. And I want to let other mothers know that, let's enjoy life. It doesn't matter what's happening today. It doesn't really matter what's going on in our society. Though it is happening, let's make today more special for us. Let's make it special. Let's make it happy. We're all here together. We're all doing this together. And the best part about today is I get to talk to someone that does a very similar thing like I'm doing. And I get to interview her instead of her interviewing me today, which is really great. And I love it today. I love having that conversation with her. One question I do have for you, though. You're a beautiful mother. You already know that. I know that. I love what you do with this network. But how do you choose who you want to interview? How do you get that feeling, this is the right person that I'm interviewing, or this is the right person I'm talking to?
Yeah, like I said, there is a very set focus for me that I want somebody that I can learn something from. Not everything that I do on the network is going to be relatable for everyone. So you might like some shows and you might not like some shows, or you may be interested in some topics and some topics may be boring for you. But I want to go across the spectrum, the entire spectrum, and find people in different fields and different areas of interest and bring them onto the show and have them add value to my life. And that's it really for me all the time. Now I'm going to quote another philosopher, Aristotle. I love Aristotle, by the way. I'm going to deviate from myself again. So Aristotle says, he says that there are two types of friends, or well, three types of friends. One is a friend where it's a transactional relationship where you give and take. And then the second kind of friend is where you have a relationship where both of you enjoy each other's company.
Right.
And then the third type of friend is a friend who adds value to your life, you learn something from that person. So that's what I find in my husband, my spouse, is because he is so different from me. When I met him, we're two different people. I am, well, an extrovert mostly, but I'm an introvert at the same time. He is mostly an introvert, but then once he opens up, he's an extrovert, So we kind of, when you first meet us, I am the extrovert. I'll be talking to you all the time and he'll be quiet. But as things change, I kind of I go into hiding, and then he comes out of his shell. So we're
Yeah.
both very different people. And then he comes from a different background. He grew up in India, and he also he's a geophysicist. And then I come from a completely entirely different background. I grew up in Calgary. So we bring different things to the table, and that he adds value to me. So that is very, very important to me, to my happiness. That growth mindset, it fuels my growth mindset, because consistently my goal is, like I said earlier, I've been reading up on happiness, is because that is my ultimate goal. I want to be happy. I want to be content. So I'm always looking at reading up on it and trying to find strategies that work for me. So I find that growth mindset is really important to me. The minute I stop growing, stop learning, I get bored and I get depressed. I get unhappy. So yeah, that's what I look in guests to, people who can add value to me and my audience. So anyone top of their field and have really cool stories of resilience, they're more than welcome. Please contact me at TCSAN2. I'm plugging on my network all I can, man.
Roop, you're amazing. You're amazing. This is why I have you here, though. Honestly speaking, I want everyone to know about you, because honestly, not everybody here, like, you have your audiences and I have my audience, right? The ones that follow me. When we're put together, we get every audience we can. So everyone can say, oh my God. And, there's a lot of us browns and whites that are all kind of like in like little groups, right? So looking at the ones that come to me,
sister,
right,
representation.
they would love to, like, every time I look at your live stream or anything that you're going through, like, this is something that I want people to see, because it's real, it's authentic, it's not fake. It's real people, real things that are happening in this world, real people that are, having some kind of positivity in this world. Why are we not watching that? Why are we watching fake media? Why are we watching fake things that are happening out there? This is real, and I love it. This is why I have you. Though we're laughing, though we've made a few mistakes here and there, talking, but it's real. And this is why I'm here. I'm like, Roop, I want to talk to you. I want to do this because you are authentically real. And I love that about you. You make me laugh. You make me be who I am. That's why I wanted you to be here. At one point, Roop was like, I don't know why I need to be here. And I'm like, oh, you don't have to be here, honey. I just want you to be here so we can actually talk about everything that you have, that you value. And I love that. So let's make this show, TC Scan, the biggest show ever, because it is huge. It needs to be seen, and I want people to see it. And if anyone ever listens to this, this is a big thing, and I want it to be huge. So you remind me of me. Why you started because of the fact that you wanted, a lot of us to be on there talking about Eid, talking about, different kind of ceremonies that we have that is not really around anywhere, and it makes sense. Why did I start? I started because I wanted to be me, and I wanted to introduce everyone, everybody. I wanted women. I wanted to support women. I wanted to support the network. And this is why you're here, because I want to support you. Do you get it?
Thank you. That truly means a lot. I know you told me, be yourself, be authentic. I think that's the best advice anyone can take, really, whether you're a content creator, whether you're a mom, whether
Right.
you're just whether you're a dad, whether you're anybody who's listening today, is that the biggest advice is in life is be yourself, be authentic, find your voice, find who you are before letting other people define you, right? So find your voice and amplify that voice by fine-tuning your skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And through practice, and takes a lot of patience as well. Takes a lot of practice and a lot of patience, and you have to learn from each other. You have to learn from other creators. For example, like you do a podcast, and I do want to venture into podcasting as well, because I think that's I listen to podcasts more than I watch Facebook videos, to be honest, because I'm able to do that when I am doing something else, when I'm walking my child to school, and everyone has a busy day. So podcasting for me is a blessing. And I listen to a lot of podcasts, you're including. So learning from other people, learning from other creators, listen to other people, listen to their stories, and stay up to date with the information that you're interested in or you want to develop your skills in. So always stay up to date. Read as much as you can. Or
I love
that's
that.
what works for me. Yeah.
So when I ask you, Roop, what is your biggest advice anyone who wants to create content? You
That's
just say,
it. That's it.
be yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah. Be
And don't worry
yourself.
about what other people think. Be yourself. For Mother's Day, be yourself. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the people that you're with today, because that is all about, that's what Mother's Day is today. Though we have COVID going on right now and there's so much happening in this world, be yourself and enjoy your family. That is the best advice ever. I love it. Be yourself. I think that's why I started this too. So thank you, Roop, for being here. I want to ask you, if anyone wanted to catch you live on your show, or if anyone had any questions, or if anyone said, hey, Roop, I want to be on your show. Can I be on your show? How do they find you?
Now you've given me the opportunity and the platform to toot my horn again and plug. Yes, you can. You can listen to my show, or you can listen to me on our network, TCSAN, which is the Canadian South Asian Network. I am just the face of it. There is a team behind it. There is my partner Ali Nizami, and then there are a whole bunch of people who help behind the scenes, Anusha, Avneet, and then I have our Gen Z. We do a show every Wednesday with young adults. Well, they're almost adults. Some of them are 18, some of them are 17. Avneet, Simrit, Ishkirit. So we have a whole bunch of people behind the scenes who come and contribute in their own right. So I am really, really grateful for all the support, all the love that I get from them. We are online on Facebook at TCSAN2. We're on YouTube at TCSAN2. We're on Instagram at TCSAN2. We put up video content almost every day, Monday to Saturday, but we're trying to scale that down now because it's summer and I want to spend more time with my daughter. I want to go outside, but yeah, that's where we are. Come say hello.
That's amazing. I can't wait. I will have your information under my description when I do set this up for you. I'm excited for anyone that does want to listen to you. They would click on it and get right on your page, because that is all what I have. And I'm excited because what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to try to get some of your shows and start sharing them on my page. Say, hey, look up Roop,
Yeah.
check it out.
Choose the ones that apply to you. Choose the ones that we talk about women. We talk about women health. And there are so many things that I think that can be shared on both our platforms.
I love it. I love it. Women supporting women. This is what we're all about here. I love it. Roop, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for taking your time today and talking to me. Thank you for allowing me to ask you questions. And not the other way around.
I haven't shared all my Aristotle stories yet, though.
Like, no, we
there's
wanted
so much.
story.
I have it in me.
We wanted your stories.
There's so much I have in me that I've been reading up
There
about.
is more
I haven't
Roop.
shared that.
There's a lot more to Roop. I think the next conversation that me and Roop are going to be having is on here about our kids. I think that's our next episode. And when that does come in, it's going to be huge. So we're going to all wait for that when it does come in. I cannot wait for that. So if you are listening to this show with me and Roop and you did enjoy it, this is something that you want to listen to, more authentic, more real kind of conversation, make sure you subscribe. And make sure that you do also write a review if you like it and everything did turn out. Just write a review, subscribe, and I cannot wait to see all of you guys for next week for our next conversation. Have a fabulous day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
You need to end that call.
Oh,
we're done. I'm not doing it. I have no control over it.
I did not talk about my Aristotle, though. I had to talk about to learn practical wisdom.
You, we're talking about you, okay?
I have so much in me about Aristotle. Like, come
No.
on.